Your turn, Yogi boy.
What is up, guys? This is AlintheaYoh coming at you today with a new card discussion about an equipped spell card called White Veil. So getting straight into it because it's a pretty different one. It is a equipped spell card, as I said, and its effect reads as follows. If the equipped monster battles, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards until the end of the damage step. If the equipped monster declares an attack negates the effects of all face-up spell and trap cards your opponent controls until the end of the damage step. When the equipped monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls. When this face-up card in the spell and trap zone leaves the field, you take 3000 damage. So this is basically Utopia the Lightning's effect on steroids. So it doesn't give an attack boost, obviously, but it means that when you do attack or when your opponent attacks you, the effects of spell and trap cards cannot be activated until the end of the damage step. Also, when it does attack, it negates all the face-up effects of spell and trap cards your opponent controls, and then if it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you nuke their back row. So that is a lot of potential pluses for you, especially if you go against decks like Paleozoic or anything that's really back row heavy. The big problem is that you take 3000 life points if your opponent destroys it. So if you activate this card and then your opponent activates Mr. Space Typhoon or Twin Twister or anything that removes the monster and ergo the spell card goes to the graveyard, you are taking 3000 damage. That is a lot of life points. So to see if this card is good or worth running, we need to look at the possible support that this has. So one of the best cards to search out equipped spell cards outside of like the Vylon archetype is Hidden Armory. Hidden Armory's effect is basically you mill the top card of your deck, search a card, search an equipped spell card, but then you can't normal summon / set in the turn you activate it. Now in this format and in this day and age where special summoning is such a big thing, it's not that much of a drawback, and to be able to search out an equipped spell card that basically guarantees you, as long as your opponent doesn't have an answer, so it's kind of not a guarantee, but you know what I mean, basically guarantees you a safe passage to attack your opponent, destroy a monster and destroy their back row, it's pretty good. But basically the obvious downside, as I said earlier, is the 3000 damage. 3000 damage is a hell of a lot. When you look at cards like Solemn Warning that you take 2000, Solemn Strike where you take 1500, you have to pay these life points. And the fact that your opponents aren't running Upstart Goblin anymore, which is one of the big things that gave you 3000 life points when everyone was running it, it's kind of a little bit worrying that you are going to take so much damage. This could be put in the possible category of a win more card. If you don't know what win more is, it's basically you're already reaching your end goal, but you're just adding on some flair to it. It means that if you didn't have it, then it wouldn't be the biggest downside. But the problem with that in lies its effect, because its effect can be so devastating. It can negate a lot of face-up cards. It can negate pendulum effects. It can negate trap effects. It's just so good. You cannot overlook the fact that it really just blocks your opponent from actually responding to any of your attacks. Now, is it worth running? I feel that it's one of those cards that will heavily depend on the type of meta that is going. I think, and I pretty much know because I know how this community goes a lot of the time, this will be completely ignored. No one will run it when it does come out after the initial hype, and people will forget about it. And I think in that lies its strength. The fact that people will probably not realize that someone is running it and get completely punished. As I said earlier, Paleozoic, it can be pretty painful against them because it means that they can't use their reactive traps. If you time it correctly, it's a very good card because obviously Paleozoic have their Canadia trap in the fact that you can pop a back row, which just when you move to the battle phase, they'll just activate that and destroy it. But that's if they have it, so you need to be very clever with it. But if you use it at the right time, then it's absolutely amazing because you wipe out their back row where they normally have at least 3 of them. Overall, I really like the card. I really like Veil. I think it's a really fun card and something I'm definitely going to look into testing because, as I said, it might even see a little bit of a use in my Skull Servants. I think I need to test it in that because being able to guarantee a simple attack to my opponent with a monster is kind of really good. So I want to know what you guys think of the Veil card. Do you think it is a very good card? Do you just think it's something that isn't going to be used? It's an interesting effect and one that's good, but the 3000 damage is just too much and it's very easy to get rid of. So as I said, let me know down in the comment section below. Make sure to give me a like, comment, subscribe, and I should catch you guys later.